I do about all these meetings? Hey, I am Chuck the bureaucrat, and recently, a colonel that I met when he was just a young, promising junior officer finally made his way all the way to the Pentagon. And, to say the least, he was shocked and appalled at the number of meetings on his daily schedule. He doesn't accomplish nearly as much as he wants to, and I've been trying really, really hard not to tell him what's really going on. I mean, he's a smart guy, he'll figure it out on his own, but I thought I'd vent to you guys. You have heard me say that bureaucracy is the competition for the distribution of resources, and that at the same time, a significant amount of power is the ability to control the flow of information. Well, at a certain level, meetings become one of the primary ways that information flows. The people who are going to make decisions about how resources are distributed simply do not trust one-sided forms of information flow like emails or reports or letters. And so, a lot of business ends up getting done in meetings. Of course, my buddy's experience and his intuition is to kill meetings at every opportunity. And, to be honest, in the operational environment that he comes from, meetings do tend to impede the flow of information and delay critical decision-making. But what he did when he first showed up was frighteningly dangerous. He didn't kill the meetings. He just stopped going to them. The meetings themselves, they kept happening, and he just wasn't there to represent his boss's interests because, well, he didn't see his equity in doing so. And I'm going to skip the part where chaos erupted and he got a behind closed doors correction. And instead, I'm going to focus on an insight from an old mentor of mine. And then I'm going to tell you how to get work done despite all these meetings. There are at least 2 situations where your office sends a representative, you, to a meeting where they hopefully are not going to say or do anything. My old mentor called the first type a suicide watch. You attend the meeting to make sure that the decision maker who is hosting the meeting doesn't make some blindingly stupid decision. This is particularly relevant where there are multiple decisions being made, maybe by different decision makers who don't even see each other that much. Different decisions that have to be coordinated or synchronized. Notoriously, this crops up in manpower and training decisions. The manpower folks make a decision to expand some skill set within the organization at the same time that the training folks are trying to decrease the amount of training they're delivering on that skill set. You'll see the same thing with regular and reserve forces. 2 independent offices can decide to use, say, the National Guard in diametrically opposed ways, and if somebody doesn't catch the mistake, then large organizational efforts can just dissolve into a mess. The other kind of meeting, where you don't have to be there, but you damn well better be, is characterized by the saying that if you're not at the table, you're on the table. These are typically resourcing meetings where the question comes up of where are we going to get $5 million? It borders on the hilarious how often this decision boils down to, well, the manpower folks are here and the training and the National Guard guys, but the equipping folks didn't send a rep, so let's take the money out of the equipping budget. If you're not present to argue your case, trust me, nobody is going to stick up for you. So with that new headquarters job, don't be surprised that there are a lot of meetings. And the only thing worse than going to them is not going. But what do? I mean, is there any way to get any work done in that kind of an environment? Well, the first thing to notice is that these kind of meetings do not usually require your 100% undivided attention. And they also do not require the 100% undivided attention of the other people at the meeting. So, there is often ample time for some quick 3-minute pre-meeting or after meeting, to get things done face to face. During the meeting, I almost always have something else to work on. Maybe a draft document that my staff has been working on, maybe a slide deck for an upcoming meeting, or maybe a newly published report that I've got to skim through. I mean, you don't want to get too distracted, but you would be surprised the amount of work that you can get done while some participant in the meeting is arguing with the presenter about whether or not the cost factor should be the ECI or the CPI. And then, never overlook the opportunity to support a potential ally. You may not care about the fine point that guy from training is trying to make, but when some snarling manpower colonel tries to steamroll him, well, you'd be amazed how much influence you can accumulate just by stepping in and saying, he has a good point. So, congratulations on getting promoted to the headquarters game. I'm sorry that the game has so many meetings in it. But I'm pretty sure that if you had what it takes to get here, well, then you also have what it takes to succeed here. And now, if you want to see a way to dominate these meetings when the time comes, watch this video.